back home did a great job with setting the kids up for success over here.
Does it feel like a bowl game? I mean, you've coached a lot of bowl games, played in bowl games. When you do something like this, does it feel a lot like a bowl trip?
Not really. Not really. It's different. In a bowl game, you've had, however many practices. The opponent, you're kind of done, and by the time you get over here, we came off fall camp and we started game week. I know the guys are doing some stuff, but it's a little bit different. It's not quite the same as being at home, not quite the same as a bowl game, somewhere in the middle.
You gave out 9 black shirts. What was the process? I know you packed them. Did you give them out before practice, or did you hang them? How'd you hang them?
Yeah, they were hanging in their lockers today when they got here. And hopefully there'll be a few more. A couple guys that maybe just got here. We're kind of waiting to see how they operate in under the bright lights and when the live bullets are flying. A couple other guys are still battling for some spots, but hopefully we'll get a few more shortly. But the guys that got them, they deserved it, and they've earned those black shirts right now.
A couple of those stand out to me. One of them is Marquise Buford. This is his first one, as is Colton Feast. As it relates to Marquise, I mean, he has shown you, I think, a lot maybe in the last year and a half. Does that kind of mean he's found a firm role within the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Marquise could have played last year. Not that he was ready to start or better than one of those guys, but I felt comfortable putting him in a game. This year he's done everything he's supposed to do. He's played some corner for us. He's played some safety for us. He's done everything right, and he's really deserved one. Colton Feast has done it the hard way. Probably one of the most favorite ones for me to give. He came here. He's a walk-on from Utah, Nebraska. He's had to work hard at it. He's done it the hard way, and he's kept fighting. He kept getting better. He's kept grinding, and he's really proved that he belongs, and he's proved that he should be out there with the ones right now.
What was his reaction today?
I don't know. We took a different bus because the guys had a workout beforehand, so I didn't get to see the reaction.
Hey, Scott mentioned, and you kind of hinted at it too, that it was important or essential to have these guys who got those jerseys have experience in this program, have played in this program. Obviously, there's some guys who are going to start who didn't get jerseys. What went into that decision for you to want to have made them earn it on the field as Huskers?
Yeah, just because you're a starter doesn't mean you get one. And some of those guys, have probably earned the right to be out there first in the starting lineup or in a package right now. We just thought that, a guy that's been here for a year or two and this is his first start, it's a little different than someone that just transferred in. And we want to see him react in situations. We've seen most of those other guys in a game, whether they're the starter or not. We want to see how these guys react in the game. We want to see how they, play with their teammates, how they operate with the coaches. We just want to see them one more time live before we make that final decision.
Do you notice an extra bounce in the step when a guy's wearing a black shirt, or is it kind of business as usual, which is why they got one?
No, I think, you see, I don't know, a bounce in the step, but you see a little different demeanor about him. You see a little bit more dialed in, a little bit more, this is real, this is happening. But I think you definitely see a difference in their demeanor.
I'm curious on those Northwestern quarterbacks. Obviously, you're familiar with Helinski. How are you kind of prepared for Brendan Sullivan, too, because he could be the starter? I mean, you have to go watch high school film on a guy like that? Or?
Yeah, it's anybody could be up. Right now, I mean, Northwestern always does a great job formationally, do a great job with different wrinkles. We've worked very hard on a lot of the unbalanced stuff from the last couple of years from those guys, a lot of the quarterback runs. We'll see, are they going to put someone else in for the quarterback runs? Are they going to do it with Wildcat? We've worked very hard on both, but we know that they're going to have some surprises for us, some different personnel groupings. Might be 2 quarterbacks playing, might be a surprise starter. We don't know, but we're ready for all of them.
How's the press box view up here for coaches? Have you been able to scope out?
Yeah, I went up there today. A little different being all the way down in the end zone. We're up in that one right there, I think 331. So it's you got a decent view of the field, but it's not quite like being in the middle like we normally are. So it's it'll be it's always a challenge every week, but it'll be a different challenge, just getting a little different view of it.
You're gonna be low or high? You?
Me? I'll be up.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, what do you look for in an opener, like big picture from a defense? What do you want to see on Saturday?
Yeah, I want to see if these guys are who I think they are. And by that I mean, will they play as hard as they have? Can they step it up a little bit? I want to see big time effort. I want to, obviously, we've had as much live tackling as you get anymore in fall camp, but we got to see if we can tackle. We got to see if we can communicate and make our checks when the stadium's full. We're in a new environment. It should be a great atmosphere, and like I said, the bright lights are on them. So some of these guys are starting their first game. We'll see if they can operate.
When you guys get on this, or is there any concerns that you won't get enough time on it before you play?
We practice a lot on grass, and this grass looks unbelievable. So I wouldn't be worried about the playing conditions at all. It looks like a fabulous grass.
What are your impressions of what you've seen so far in Ireland? What stands out to you here?
What stands out probably first is the people. I have not encountered one person that hasn't been helpful, kind, courteous, generous. So the people have been unbelievable here. It's great to see some new things. I've never been here before. Just like most of our guys, I'm sure there's probably only a handful that have been in the country. So, it's cool for me to see some of the older architecture and some of those types of things. But the people have been fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once you're walking off with this.
Yeah, we'll keep it. I keep it.
All right.
Gonna button you up with a mic here.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
How we doing?
Is this your first time in Ireland?
No, I was here like 4 years ago playing golf, so different trip.
Was that enjoyable?
Not much golf this week, huh?
No golf. No golf. Good place. I've been, really good place. Good to be back, good to be back playing football.
You've been a coach a long time and been around a lot of trips like this. What are the challenges of a trip like this when you get over here and kind of get your bearings on the first couple days?
Well, I think, as I talked earlier, something to the coach, our offensive staff, just be positive. I mean, they're young kids that we travel a lot more than they have, and I've taken a bunch of teams different ways. But I think, and I asked the quarterbacks today, I said, how did you guys feel like yesterday? They go, oh, man, we've never been so tired. And we just got a little bit of a sweat. And today started a little slow, then we had a really good practice. So that's just part of it, It's the same thing. I've been in the NFL. Some people, when you travel east to west and you're going 6 different hours. But we're staying in a nice hotel, really good, nice hotel. And they've been good. So we had a good practice today.
What was just the overall level of fatigue? With the jet lag coming off in these first practice?
You can tell, yesterday, we didn't push them yesterday. It was kind of like getting it, and then you could see them as the practice rolled on. They just started getting back their legs and everything else and feeling a lot better. And I think tomorrow's a fast day. We'll settle them in, and then Friday we'll clean up on a couple of things. We had a few mental mistakes today, but overall it was pretty good.
Scott, Casey, the starter, obviously you agree with that. What did you like about him in camp, and how's he looked? What's your expectation level for him, given his experience going into this?
Well, just, as I've said enough times, that taking care of the football and being a leader, but the leadership comes from your play and not from your mouth. So it's more like, hey, there's going to be a bump in the road. There's going to be something happens. It always does in the first game. We as coaches, you like to have everything in plan and in play, but very rarely does it happen in the first game. So I've been on both ends of it. So, get out of the first quarter without giving the game away, really, and then settle in. And it's kind of the way we've been in our scrimmages throughout the spring and fall. So I certainly would like to change it. We'd like to start with a touchdown on the first drive, but so we'll see how that plays out. So, and I went over some of the third down stuff today and a little bit of red zone with them, and I'll have more of that with them Thursday and Friday on exactly what we're going to do in those situations.
You feel like he's won over his teammates, and quarterback is about a leadership role.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not politics. So Saturday I'll find out, right? Yeah. He's won me over, he's won coach over, and the other guys have really been pushing. And we got to have, as I said before, it's a really good room. Because I can be tough at times on a guy, that's the head guy, the quarterback, and that's why he needs support. And, as I said, and I think he's going perfect. But I think we have a really good room. We do. We got good kids that care, that work hard, that really help one another on some of the things that way. And so they've been fun to be around, and it's obviously a lot more fun when you win.
Casey was almost on. You're obviously a big part of what's been a lot of change in these last 8 months on the staff, among the roster. This close to the opener, what makes you most confident that this job of meshing everything together is going to go?
Just the way the kids have bought in to maybe the changes, and a lot of it's the same, a lot of it's different. How hard they've worked, how they come closer as a team, as an offense. I think they really care for one another. They're fun to be around. As I said, in the whole time, we had one bad practice in spring out of 15, and then we had one bad one this fall, which is probably, 24, whatever day we were on. But they're attentive, the way they walk through, the way they do things. The younger guys are getting help by the older guys, which makes me feel like they know something. And I think we've got a really good group of coaches and really bunch of really good kids, and excited to see them perform on Saturday.
When we talked to Casey, he seemed very calm, methodical. Is that what you've seen? That he doesn't get rattled and all that stuff?
Well, I try to. I try to do that as a coach. It's like at this point I'm like, rah, 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 it's like that didn't help anybody. My wife will tell you she's glad I'm here, right, in the first game. But it's you got to carry yourself with confidence to give confidence. So I've got to give those guys confidence. Hey, there's different calls. I'm going to screw one up. There's a lot of new verbiage that I have to get used to. The quarterback, he's done a good job. He not only has to learn offense, both sides, the run game and the pass game. So does Chuba. So there's some things there that, but he's done a really good job. So it's he knows me well enough that we have a really good relationship and spend a lot of time alone, which I have with all the quarterbacks. But it's his time to go out and prove why he came here to Nebraska.
How those receivers? One or two more. How the receivers?
Good. Yeah, running good. In fact, they were much. As I said, we worked them hard before we came out and got a lot of routes that way. But we want to get some things today, and I really like that. We had a few misses, but I'll clean those up on Friday. But we really don't want to run real hard on Friday. We want to get our speed and be there for Saturday.
Coach Fitzgerald mentioned Monday that he feels like his defense is going to be at a disadvantage, at least at the start of the game, because there's so many new aspects to the Nebraska offense. What do you think about that? Do you agree with that assessment?
I don't know. I'm just trying to do my job. Whatever he feels is right and not going to affect the game. I've never played against Northwestern, so I haven't played in the called plays in the Big Ten, so it's kind of like when I went to the ACC. Was the same thing. Certain personalities on that part, I think after you play some teams a little bit, you get a feel, or certain people that are calling it, and so it's more worried about what we do is how we're talking about is that it's not about them, it's about us, as we said since the day I got here. We control what we can control, and that's all you can worry about.
How's the Guinness?
I don't. I've been too tired. It's like I drank enough of it 4 years ago to hold over for this trip. So have one for me, okay? Thanks, guys.